Alan Parsons, I think, is going to have a run on the Angelicore going into the bus stop.
Oh my God, what a pass. He got it done.
Good evening, race fans. This is Ken Rodriguez, and we want to welcome everybody to a new season of Thursday Night GT1 NAGP racing here at the North American Grand Prix. We are coming to you live from Road America, one of North America's premier road courses for sports car racing, and one of America's oldest, as a matter of fact. So this is season 24 of GT1 here at NAGP, and we're hoping to keep this series alive going forward, so a lot more to come on that. So tonight being the first round, there is the Super Pole that is going on. There will be a Super Pole qualifying tonight. So the way that works is that each driver will have one timed lap. First driver to go out, it'll be done in inverse order from how practice finished. So if you're looking on board with me here, you can see that the order has been set, and these drivers will go in inverse order starting from the bottom all the way up to the top. And they will get one time lap. There is an out lap and one time lap, and that's all you get, so no pressure. A lot of folks are watching, and you know, some folks will succumb to the pressure, unfortunately, and others will not. But we'll have to see how this goes tonight. We are currently waiting on Alex White to get back in. I think that Alex White will probably either join us in a couple of minutes, or he will probably be back for the qualifying 2. Alex White is going to be joining me in the broadcast booth tonight, and will offer some color commentary as well as some critique and expert analysis of the driving skills on display here tonight. So while we have a couple of minutes here before we switch over to the qualifying session, why don't we go ahead and take a look at Road America. It is a 14-turn course and offers you a little bit of everything, some wide open spaces, not too many sweepers, but there is a technical section starting from corner 5 all the way down to corner 14 really. Kettle Bottoms is one place where you'll see some of these cars really take advantage of the high horsepower, 600 horsepower plus in some of these cars that can absolutely haul the mail down some of these long straightaways. But I'll tell you this much, the kink, turn number 11, that's a place of contention for some of these drivers. During practice, we've seen a few guys just take it a little bit too aggressively, and of course the cars can only but succumb to so much pressure. The turns 8, 9, and 10 complex through the carousel. Now the carousel is a little bit difficult because it is a narrowing apex, narrowing turn, so some of these drivers will go in quick and you'll see them immediately let off the throttle to try and take the inside line, which is the fastest way around. Canada Corner, Thunder Valley, and Bill Mitchell Bend, again another place where some of these drivers will either make up or lose a lot of time, and car setup around this track is of utmost importance. Make no mistake, folks, it is very important to have your car set up for this track, because temperatures, as you can see right now, are 123. That's what we've been seeing throughout practice. If this is any indication of what we are going to see for the qualifying session, boy oh boy, these guys got their work cut out for them. Some of them are going to try to qualify on soft tires, and we have seen that the soft tires literally within one lap can melt and become very slippery out there. So we're going to have to see what these GT1 drivers are planning as far as strategy goes tonight. Me, myself, I welcome you guys up here into the
Alex,
broadcast.
what's going on? What's happening?
Hey, Brad, how you doing? We're live right now, and Alex is he's not back. He's not quite back yet. He should be back in a couple minutes, hopefully.
Okay, apologies, Ken.
No worries, no worries. That was Brad Maris, our Monday night color commentator, along with Al Merriman for the GT2 series. And as I stated a little bit earlier, we're still waiting on Alex White Lightning to come back and join us. Hopefully he'll get in during the practice session. If not, he will be coming back in for qualifying too. But we're here, and we're bringing you all the live action as we get set to switch this over to the qualifying one session very shortly here. And here we are for the qualifying one session. This is Super Pole session, and as I stated, these drivers will all get one timed lap. So there's an out lap, and then there is or a warm-up lap, if you will, and then there is the time lap that counts towards the qualifying position. Immediately following the Super Pole session, we will have a 30-minute dash race. It's what they call the qualifying race, to determine what the starting order for next week's feature, 3-hour feature event is going to be. And first one out is Mr. Al Merriman, as he goes and he will start his warm-up lap or his out lap. Al Merriman, the president and owner of the North American Grand Prix League, both GT2 and GT1, he owns it all. NAGP being his brainchild, and it has flourished over the years into a phenomenal league where competition is at the highest levels around here. So Al Merriman taking his time around the track and trying to get his tires up to operating temperature, not taking it too aggressively right now. As you can tell, looks like he's just kind of coasting around the track, if you will. As we jump on board the bonnet cam with Al Merriman. Starting to pick up some speed now, and again, that's just to get the heat into the tires. Want to welcome everybody that's watching by our broadcast on the internet, folks. Just to let you know, I do not have the chat up and running, so if you are chatting messages, unfortunately at this time I do not have the chat up and running. I hope to have it up and running for the 30-minute dash race. So if anybody comes on and you're on right now and you're watching, and anybody comes on and they ask why I'm not responding, that would be the reason why. So Al Merriman set to take the checkered flag here, the green flag, and the green flag now drops for Al Merriman as he starts his one hot lap. Al Merriman, Chris Moses, PMR Racing, they are driving the Michelin shod Saline SR7 cars. These cars are one of the favorites among the GT1 drivers, and we see that Al's already got a smoking engine. We're hoping that that engine will hold out for an entire lap of running here, so we'll have to see how that goes. Jump on board the chase cam here with Al Merriman as he gets set to take the infield here at Road America. So, getting back to PMR Racing, Precision Motor Racing, Chris Moses, Al Merriman team up last season and this season for the GT1 series. Last season, if you recall, and you were with us, you know that they were driving the Pano's Esperante GT1 car. In my opinion, one of the most ugliest cars in our car packs, but it's a great performing car, and they did have a lot of success, especially in the team championships, the team championship standings with that car. So Al Merriman going down the back straight, coming into Canada corner now. Getting right back on the power as quickly as he possibly can. Wants to put in as good a time as he possibly can, as much as that car will allow him to go. Can't stretch the car beyond its limit. And the last corner, ever so important, exit corner speed being of crucial importance for these cars. Al Merriman will come across with a 1:58.58, which is an excellent time. Sailor Montgomery Jr., another one of our regulars in the Monday Night GT2 series, driving the red Ferrari F40. This is one of the older cars in our packs, in our car pack. However, make no mistake, folks, this car is capable of a lot in the right hands. And Sailor Montgomery Jr. has been showing great promise early on in GT2, and we're hoping that he can carry that over to GT1. Sailor Montgomery Jr. now on his timed lap. First sector split of 44.351. That is the time to beat right now for Al. That's Al Merriman's time. Al Merriman currently on provisional pole. On board the bonnet cam with Sailor Montgomery Jr. as he comes down the hill into the infield corners. Now into the carousel. This is where I was talking about, folks. They will come in hot and heavy, foot on the throttle, and then you will hear the throttle lift just enough so they can take the inside line, get right back on it, apex the turn, and get out of there. This is pretty much flat out through this section here. Salem on a fast lap coming into Canada corner. He's a little bit off the pole pace right now. Didn't see Salem with a lot of practice, so this may be an issue of not enough practice, or the track temperatures are just a little too much for the Ferrari F40 right now. Temperatures of 113 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the track temperature. So Salem Montgomery will come across the line with a 159.064 and provisionally puts him into P number 2. Up next, David Poole. One half of 05 Motorsport. David Poole starting his hot lap now. Boy, and based on what I'm seeing here, 180 miles an hour down that front stretch, that high revving Porsche 911 GT1 Carrera. It is incredible. It's an amazing machine. As David Poole now comes down the infield downhill section. Oh, a little bit of a lockup there for David Poole. But he is on pole pace by approximately 9/100ths of a second. And again, folks, some of these drivers will try and qualify on soft tires. The soft tires do deteriorate quickly in these high temps. So second sector split time of 1:24 is the time to beat. David Poole coming down the back stretch, again on pole pace by 1/10. Oh, and getting into the grass is certainly not going to help David Poole's cause here. We're going to have to see if that hurt him any. As he comes around to take the final corner and onto the front start finish straight. And David Poole up to P2. We now jump on board with David Poole's teammate Andrew Werner. Andrew Werner, second half of 05 Motorsport for the GT1 season, season 24, here at the North American Grand Prix. Nice clean lines going through the infield. Andrew Werner coming up on the second sector split here shortly within the next 20 or so seconds. Oh, drops it into third gear. We've been seeing some of these folks taking the carousel in fourth, but he drops it down into third gear. Don't ask me how I know, folks. I have this super secret software available to me that can tell me all that the drivers are doing. Andrew Werner reaching 180 miles an hour down that back stretch and into Canada corner he goes. 1:58.586, the time to beat. Oh, coming out of that last corner, a little bit of a slide it seems. And Andrew Werner will cross the line with a 1:58.157, good enough for a provisional pole. Excellent run by Andrew Werner. On board now, following Matt Taylor. Matt Taylor now to start his hot lap. And folks, make no mistake about it, a lot of these guys are very competitive by nature, but when you're out there, pretty much, takes that turn way wide. That is going to hurt his chances here. But when you're out there by yourself, Super Pole, you know that all eyes are on you. Everyone is in their pits. They've got their eyes glued to the monitor to see what their competition is doing. Matt Taylor quickly dropping it down into first gear. Oh, massive push coming out of that Aston Martin. Oh, he's about 1.1 seconds off the pole pace. Does not look that like the suspension setup or the car setup is working for Matt Taylor right now for this qualifying session. Quickly taking a look, 114-degree track temperature and an ambient temperature of 99 degrees Fahrenheit. So these cars are going to struggle a little bit with the heat. Typically the fast guys, well, just about all GT1 racers like to close up the radiators a little bit, but with these high temps, they're going to be running a 3-4 opening. Down the back stretches goes Matt Taylor and into Canada corner. Starting to smoke his engine, so he's probably running his engine at a 3, quite possibly a 2. Through the last corner goes Matt Taylor. Comes across the start-finish line with a time of 2:711, good enough for P5. Not a bad run at all. And we now pick it up with John Wathen driving the Corvette C6R GT1 Mad Croc number 11. I drive the peer car to this model in GT2 with my GT2 teammate Mike Greatrix. Mike Greatrix, one half of Skidmark Racing for GT1 Racing with Marty Uren. John Wathen with some really clean lines, gets heavy on the brake, brings it down into second gear at about 60 miles an hour through that turn. And keeps it quick through there at about 75 miles an hour. Way to go, John. Carousel now is John Wathen. 124.222 is the time to beat. John Wathen about 1.7 seconds off of the pace right now for pole. Off of the last turn goes John Wathen. John Wathen will come across that start-finish line with a lap time of 2 flat .970, good enough for P6. We now pick it up with Bjorn Heyman. You know, I said it towards the end of last season that Bjorn Heyman is someone whom I admire. This is a driver that shows up week after week. He enjoys the competition. He enjoys sim racing, and it's just a general pleasure to have Bjorn racing here with us at NAGP. So look forward to great things coming from Bjorn. He is teamed up for season 24 GT1 with none other than John Ludden. So I predict nothing but good things for Mr. Heyman as he picks up some really good pointers from John Ludden. So Bjorn Heyman now on the downhill. And into the carousel. Through turn 11 in the kink, should be a flat out affair. No need to let off that throttle. Good stuff. Screaming down kettle bottoms. And into Canada corner he goes. Pole time 158.157. Bjorn just slightly off that pace right now. I want to say about 2 seconds off the pace. 2 flat .874 for Bjorn Heyman. Andrew Werner currently sitting on pole. That temperature just continues to creep on up there little by little. The ambient temperatures remain the same, but the track temperature 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The good thing, conditions are sunny and the forecast calls for nothing but sun. So we go large with Mike Greatrix. So yes, I'm a little biased here tonight because Mike is my teammate in GT2. So of course the soft side of me is going to pull for Mike. Then again, the soft side of me pulls for all of my friends here at NAGP. So Mike Greatrix looking the best first sector time of 44.320. set by Mr. Andrew Werner. So 05 Motorsport currently on provisional pole right now. .22222. Time to beat right now. And that is a lofty goal for a lot of these drivers. Through the kink he goes. One and a half seconds off pole pace. This is going to be a great run for Mike Greatrix as he comes into Canada Corner. Through Thunder Valley and Bill Mitchell Bend. And here, the all-important turn 14 misses the apex just slightly. Perhaps could have taken it just a little bit closer, but a good run nonetheless. Coming through the grid spots, Mike will put up 2 flat .575 for P5. Great run, Mike Greatrix. Very well done. We now take it up with Connor Swain driving the Viper GTS GT1 car as he sets out on the Sector 1. Connor Swain racing out of the UK. And that does not stand for unknown. It is the United Kingdom. Connor Swain coming up on the first sector split right now as he comes in through Moraine Sweep. Oh, first gear. That's unusual. Almost a second off the pole. Oh, and he... Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been on our end. I must have froze up, or he must have froze up. But certainly some lag going on there. All right, so through Hurry Downs. Turn 8 and into turn 9, the carousel. I'm sorry, folks. I did not get to see that first sector split time for Connor Swain, as looks like the connection lagged out just a little bit, so I apologize for that. 124, 222, still the time to beat. Oh, Connor just a bit off the pole pace, 2.3 seconds. Into Canada Corner he goes. Through the Bill Mitchell Bend, turn 13, and here it is, the all-important turn 14. And again, some of these drivers are taking that apex wide. I think that if they were to just bring it in just a little bit, they'd probably get a quicker run onto the front start-finish straight. So, Connor Swain, 2:01.2 currently for P9. Well, looks like we're having some lag issues here tonight. Looking at my system here, looks like my ping totals, my ping rates are pretty good, but I have dropped 50 frames. But that's still not bad, so I apologize for that, folks. Truly, I do. Alright, so Tom Shubes with a smoking engine coming up on the first sector split. Time of 44.320 is what you want to beat. Oh, about 3/10 off the pole time right now for Thomas Schubeck. Tom Schubeck this season driving the Ferrari 550 Maranello car, one half of Panzer Faust Racing. And through the carousel he goes. Through the kink and into kettle bottoms. Schubeck into Canada corner now. Nice. Apex it tight. Swings out wide. Engine smoking. They'll have to replace that after the qualifying session for the qualifying race. And there you go. Nice. Tight hugging the apex. Gets right back on it. Not going to be pole pace, I don't think. But, boy. It's a very decent run. Thomas Schubeck with a 2 flat .386 and up to P5 he goes. So an excellent run for Tom Schubeck. John Ludden driving the Pagani Zonda R GT1 car. Will start his hot lap. Now here's a funny thing. That's considered turn 1. This right here is considered turn 2. And here is turn 3. I didn't get that, but the designers of the track decided to name everything with a bend in it a turn, or give it a number. So John Ludden in the extremely loud Pagani Zonda comes into the Moraine sweep turn 5 turn. On a pole pace by about 1/10 of a second. John Ludden, one of our top racers here at NAGP GT1. John Ludden is actually teamed up with David Poole for the GT2 Season 24 series here at NAGP that is currently ongoing on Monday nights. And talking to my teammate for Monday nights, I stated that's going to be one combination that may be very hard to beat this season, where these guys are, both David Poole and John Ludden, are very fast drivers. We'll have to see how that season takes shape. So up the hill goes John Ludden and posts up a time of 1:57.777 for the provisional pole. Great run by John Ludden. Up next is Sergio Calderon driving the big Ford GT. As he now starts his hot lap. Sergio Calderon, another one of our fine Thursday night drivers that shows up week in, week out. Has been making some steady progress in an improvement in his driving skills as each season progresses. So we are certainly looking for more improvement from Sergio. He's a pleasure to have around in the forums and on Ventrilo, on race nights. 44.219 is the time to beat. He's about 0.6 off the pace. Going on board on the with the bonnet cam as Sergio Calderon goes into the carousel. I'm sure he's got to have that steering wheel cranked over to the right. Through the kink he goes, flat out. That's it, into 6th gear. Kettle bottoms and then Canada corner. Here we go. Nice tight apex there by Sergio. Oh, Sergio swings it wide. Get it back, get it back. Good save, Sergio. It's going to cost you some time, but you know what? It's better than slamming into the wall by losing control. Another tight apex there for Sergio Calderon. Up the hill and through the timing loop he goes for a time of 2:01.679. Good for P12. And Sergio's teammate, Mr. Aaron Parsons, the wonder from down under, racing out of Australia. This is truly an international league, folks. We got boys that are, well, I guess for Aaron, it's like the middle of the day right now, or something to that effect. It's like noon Friday. It's 9 o'clock Thursday night here in the U.S. on the eastern coast, and it's like noon Friday for the Australians. Incredible. So Aaron Parsons joins us for his lunch break to do a little bit of racing. Aaron Parsons through the carousel. And Aaron Parsons on pole pace by about 200s. Aaron Parsons laying down a smoking hot lap. And it looks like this might be enough for pole. We're going to have to see. Going through about 160 miles an hour right now. 157.937. Not good enough for pole, but he does take P2. And if he can hold it, that is a guaranteed spot for the feature race next week. Spots 1 and 2 are guaranteed and locked in. So, John Houston driving the Ferrari. He will come up on the first sector split about another 24-25 seconds. Oh, huge slide for John Houston. That is going to hurt his time some. About 6/10 off the pace. John Houston through the carousel now. Early on the throttle. .1 seconds off the pace now. Again, sorry for the lag, folks. I know that you guys are probably seeing that by television, so I apologize for that. I will try and get that sorted out before the 30-minute race. .201.288, good enough for P13 for John Houston. Marty Uren, the other half of Skidmark Racing, Now starts his hot lap. Marty Uren driving the Lamborghini Diablo. I thought it a strange car when they placed this into our car pack to be a part of the NAGP series, but it's proven quite useful. Alex White did some races in it last season for season 23 in GT1 and had good success with it. So much so that he at one point entered the running for the points at the on the driver championship level. So Marty Uren now goes through the kink. Into Canada corner he goes. (157.778) set by none other than John Ludden is the time to beat. Oh, P5 for Marty with a 158.598. Great run for Marty Uren. And Andres Preto. If we were to take his name in the literal sense, translated into English, his name is Andy Black. So, Andy Black on his outlap. I'm sorry, on his hot lap, not his outlap. He's actually being timed now, so no pressure, Andres. One half of Anger Racing, the other half being Brad Maris. Our Monday night color commentator, along with Al Merriman for the GT2 series and resident driving instructor. Folks, if you like what you're seeing here in GT1, we have a Monday Night League also. GT2 Racing. The cars are not much different, not that much less powerful, but they are less, 4 to 500. They're within the 4 to 500 horsepower range, whereas GT1 is 600 and above. But nonetheless, those cars are just as fun, very competitive. We field some large grids here at NAGP for GT2. Andres Preto looking like he's on a good run here. Andres Preto with an excellent run here out of turn 14, going up the hill. Let's see what Andres can put together here. What's he got? Oh, 1.4 seconds off with a 159.261, good enough for P8. So perhaps not the time that he wanted to post up, but a good run nonetheless. So we got Gub Douglas in the chat room. So Gub, let's see here, to answer your question, Brad Maris will be the last driver to go. Juan Monroy, another driver yet that I will state that he is one that shows up week after week. Juan Monroy, no stranger to the Ferrari F40. carousel for Juan Monroy. Into Canada corner. Still looking good for Juan Monroy. Bill Mitchell bend. A little bit of a tricky bend there because your car, it goes a little weightless. But wow, Juan Monroy with a very, very good run as he comes up that hill blazing fast. He's going to jump up to P4 with a 158.457. Good on you, Juan. That was an excellent, excellent run. So we have left Ryan Schleif, Chris Moses, and Brad Merris. So we've got these three drivers yet to go. Ryan Schleif now starting his hot lap. And I was watching Ryan Schleif a little earlier during practice, and I got to tell you that Ryan Schleif was looking very racy out there. He seemed to have had that Aston Martin hooked up in 123-degree track temperatures. We're currently at 115, and the ambient has dropped 1 degree to 98. So my guess here is that we should see a good run from Ryan Schleif in the Hexus Aston Martin. As you see the brake discs glow on the car as they get heavy on the brakes. Thick and heavy steel reinforced carbon fiber material makes up the brake disc. Ryan Schleif driving the number 10 Hexus Racing Aston Martin. Coming up on the second sector split here now. Looks like he's a little off on the time. 1.1. Off the pole pace. With an opportunity to make up some time here. Oh, goes a little early into the corner and he has to slow down quite a bit. Wants to hug this tight, get back on the throttle as quick as you can. Go ahead. Ryan Schleif coming up the hill now. Ryan Schleif will post up a 159.391, good enough for P10. That's an excellent run, puts you in the top 10, Ryan. So we jump on board with Chris Moses. Chris Moses, one of the administrators here at the North American Grand Prix. This is the gentleman that puts together our car packs. He deals with the physics. Not all on his own. He does have a team of supporters and other folks here at the NAGP that do assist him with the tracks and the car packs. But Chris Moses handles the majority of the work and makes a majority of the decisions along with Al Merriman as to what cars are going to go into the car packs, some of the changes that need to be made, etc., etc., etc. So Chris starts to take the infield after he just went through turn 5, Moraine sweep. And Chris Moses showing great pace as he is currently up on pole time. Currently by about 0.2. We'll see how Chris Moses does here. It looks like his engine is starting to smoke. Chris Moses might very well be on pole pace. I think he is. Oh, just lost a little bit of time, almost 0.2 in sector 2. Does he have enough to make up for it? Slide by Chris Moses and onto the grass. Nope. Kiss it goodbye, Chris. Sorry. Still not a bad run for Chris Moses as he comes out of turn 14 and up the hill he goes. Chris will post up a time of 159.047, which will move him into P8. And here with our last qualifier of the evening, Mr. Brad Maris. Again, Brad Maris is our resident driving instructor. He sometimes holds driving school between seasons, not typically during the seasons, but you know, I was saying earlier that if you guys like what you see, go ahead and go pick yourself up a wheel and pedal set. Get on here with us, sign up for the forums, create an account. We have a huge community here of supporters that are always willing and able to help out a fellow racer. And if you need help with your driving, Brad is the guy to see. So Brad, down Moraine Sweep, turn 5, gets a little wide. Wow, and he's still on pole pace. Come on, Brad, you got to see the fact that you are currently faster than pole. Through the carousel he goes, Brad Maris. Through sector 2. This is where I've been noticing a lot of drivers here tonight are starting to they're losing time through sector 2, and Brad does the same. He was on pole pace, but now he's about a half a second off. It would take some really clean driving here and no mistakes whatsoever to try and make up some of that time. He's still on a good run. This is still a great run for Brad. Comes out of the all-important turn 14 and up the hill he will go. And Brad will post up a time of, didn't catch that. So Brad Maris up to P7 with a time of 158.737. So there you have it, folks. That is going to be the starting order for the 30-minute qualifying race. We will run down the order for you before the race starts, so that way you get all the names. But just to give you guys an idea of what it is going to be happening for the 30-minute race coming up in just 2 short sessions. So with that, we're going to take a small little break. We will not leave you, but we're going to go on standby for a moment, and we will be right back. Alright folks, and we are back with you. Warm-up has just started for the GT1 drivers here tonight, and I am happy to report that I think I may have found what was causing some of the lag issues a little earlier. Found that my phone was connected to the main router of the house. So the way it works here, at least in my home, is that I have a Verizon Fios router that also doubles as a wireless router for the house, and I do have a 100 meg circuit that does run into the house. However, when devices are updating, such as software, which is what my phone just went through, and they are attached to the Wi-Fi router, it does eat up a lot of bandwidth. So hopefully we won't see any more of that. That's my hope, that's my desire. We've dropped about 160 frames total, and we're hoping that we drop no more. We've got 8 cores of processing power in this machine, and it should be more than sufficient to handle all the stuff that's going on here tonight. So what are we looking at? We're looking at some of the drivers that are out there doing their warm-up laps. We did have some drivers join us. Gup Douglas, Mike Trussler joined in Quali 2. Trussler driving the other Viper GTS GT1 car. So we're expecting a quite the barn burner here tonight. 30 minutes dash for the cash, as my former broadcasting buddy Jack Ivy would say. And Jack, if you're watching or you get to see these broadcasts at any time, listen, we miss you, man. If you got some spare time, come and join us in the broadcast booth. Miss you tremendously, bud. Hope that everything is well with you. I'll drop you an email within the next couple of days, see how things are going. So just quickly watching some of these guys as they go around the track, getting those last precious warm-ups done. A lot of these drivers will practice their pit ins during warm-up as well as their start procedures. When you've got 600 horsepower going to any one of the wheels on the car, you want to make sure that you are well prepared to keep things under control. Now here's a little bit of an interesting turn of events as we look over here on the right hand side at the conditions of the racetrack and the environment. Track temperature has dropped drastically down to 73%, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. And the ambient temperature, which is the air temperature around the cars, has also reduced drastically down to 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Does this mean that we might see the same issues, the same type of conditions in the race? It's possible. Then again, anything is possible as we use a random weather mod for GTR2. So we'll see. It could very well be that we end up with rain or flooded conditions. Who knows? That's the way the GTR2 the NAGP random weather mod works. So we'll have to see what happens in this 30-minute race. With all of these drivers, so Ps 1 and 2 are locked in, and those are not changeable. So John Ludden, I believe, was the one with the fastest time, will have secured his position for the feature race next week, as well as the 30-minute qualifier should he decide to run. Just watching Marty Uren taking in the sights on the grass there. As we cycle through some of the drivers here in warm-up. Warm-up has now ended. So you'll start to see some of these folks now start to make their way in. And there's Andres with a start practice. And the guys are starting to bring them in now into the pits. As we get ready to switch it over to the race session. And there it is. And our conditions. Whoa, beautiful. 72 degrees Fahrenheit track temperature, 61 degree Fahrenheit ambient. That is perfect weather for these cars. Dare I say it, some of these drivers may even choose to run soft tires. So let's run down the order. Starting on pole position for tonight's race, John Ludden in P2. These top two positions are locked in for the feature race. Aaron Parsons will start in P2. Andrew Werner in third. Juan Monroy with a great run starts in fourth. Al Merriman also the early pole setter, starting in fifth with a great run. Marty Uren sixth, Brad Maris seventh, David Poole in eighth, Chris Moses starts ninth, Salem Montgomery Jr. rounds out your top 10, Andres Preto in 11th, Ryan Schleif in 12th, Thomas Schubeck in 13th, 14th goes to Mike Graytrix, that's a good showing, 15th for Matt Taylor, Bjorn Hammond in 16th, John Wathen in 17th, Connor Swain in 18th, John Houston 19th, Sergio Calderon will start 20th, Gub Douglas in 21st, and Mike Trussler will bring up the rear in 22nd. So that is your starting order, folks. We are now getting set in about another 45 seconds to make our way out onto the grid. We are waiting for your pole sitter, Mr. John Ludden, to join the party here at Road America tonight. John Ludden currently sitting in the pits. Oh, there he is. He is on board. So we are ready to go here at Road America for the 30-minute dash for the cash. And folks, forgive me if I don't catch everything. I'm letting you know now, this is going to be hard for these GT1 cars for me to keep up with these guys. So, and the green lights come on. And they're off. Aaron Parsons with the whole shot over John Ludden. John Ludden having to defend right now. Holds on to P2. Comes hot and heavy into turn 1. We'll cycle through the field as quickly as possible to see how everybody's doing. Oh, there must have been a bit of a fracas back there, because Bjorn Hammond, after a great starting position, drops all the way back to P22. And we'll have to cycle up through the field right now and see what's going on. We got a lot of bumping and grinding. Oh, we have one of the Paganis that are off the track. It's John Ludden, your pole sitter. Gonna help his teammate out and chase him down. Oh, we got one of the Salines and the Fords that came together. Sergio Calderon, wow. And Gub Douglas in the Saline that came together, looks like. Chris Moses back in 18th. Not sure exactly what happened there, folks. So we continue to move up the field. That gives the lead over to Aaron Parsons now. And Andrew Werner in second. Al Merriman in third. Now Al, boy, I gotta tell you, Al put on a great show during Super Pole. He set the first pole time, and it was a phenomenal time, which has him starting in 5th. However, that from positions 3 all the way back to 20 whatever, the Super Pole times all kind of, it's like a reset. They get reset, and what matters now is this race here. Positions 1 and 2 are locked down for next week's feature race. So this is essentially a race for 3rd all the way back to 22nd to determine where they're going to be starting next week's race. So we cycle back through the field. Salem Montgomery moving up into 7th. David Poole in 8th, and Ryan Schleif 9th. Thomas Schubeck in 10th. Thomas with a little bit of damage to the right front of that 550 Maranello. He's being hunted down by Andres Prieto. And Mike Graytrix hanging in there with the likes of Andres. Andres with a bit of a lurch. On board with Mike Graytrix as this battle starts unfolding here in the middle of the pack. Matt Taylor, Connor Swain in a battle for P13. Mike Trussler not too far behind, followed by John Wath and John Ludden falling way back. Boy, John Houston back to P20. Don't know what happened to John. And Chris Moses all the way back in P22. Let's have a look around Chris's car. Oh yeah. We've got some heavy damage there. Just keep your head down, Chris, and your foot on the accelerator. On board with your race leader, Aaron Parsons. Comes across with a 159.9. Aaron Parsons laying down the law early in this 30-minute qualifier. Andrew Werner is relentless in his pursuit of the leader. Andrew Werner figuring, you know what, if I can finish at the top, that'll guarantee my 3rd spot. Al Merriman still in 3rd, being chased down by Juan Monroy. Juan Monroy having a look on the inside. Is he going to make it stick? We'll have to see as they come into this next corner. Juan Monroy with the advantage. Oh, little sideways touch, and Al Merriman gets off into the grass. That will also let Brad Maris by now. So Al, within a corner, goes from 3rd to 5th. And Al still got folks that are behind him that are hot and heavy on the throttle, looking to improve their positions. Marty Uren driving the Lamborghini Diablo, and Salem Montgomery driving the other red Ferrari F40. David Poole now trying to put the moves on Mr. Montgomery Jr. And we just heard somebody drop. This race is scheduled for 12 laps. Currently working lap 2, so 10 laps yet to go. Now on board with Brad Maris, who is now chasing down Mr. Juan Monroy. Brad Maris already in his draft, certainly in his draft as they go down this long straightaway. Brad Maris getting it up to 183 miles per hour going into turn 1. Slides it just a little bit. Juan Monroy able to pull away in that Ferrari. So looks like the Ferrari, the advantage on the infield goes to the Ferrari, but the legs go to the vet. 2003, 2004 Corvette C5R. Al Merriman still holding down 5th. With Salem Montgomery in 6th. Oh, Marty Uren taking a look on the inside of Salem Montgomery. Salem again in that Ferrari seems to have the legs to be able to pull out of corners, but Marty Uren with the inside line trying to make it stick. Whoa, and we've got Marty Uren losing P7 to David Poole. Oh, David Poole grabbing a curve. It's gonna let Marty right back by. So interesting stuff going on here, people. Boy, I've got LEDs on this Porsche lighting up in my face like you wouldn't believe. High revving Porsche. Ryan Schleif taking a look on the outside of David Poole. Not going to get it done. Great racing going on here within your top 10. So Salem Montgomery Jr. gets a little bit of breathing room right now, as does Al Merriman. But the one who has much to think about is Mr. Juan Monroy. He's got Brad Maris all over his tail. Brad Maris again in the slipstream gets it up to 183 this time going down that front straight. Man, these cars are they're just capable of incredible speeds. So let us cycle through the field a little bit more. We know that Andrew Werner is still chasing down your leader, Aaron Parsons. So Bjorn Hammond has to bring it into the pits. For what reason, we do not know. Gub Douglas running in 20th. John Houston in 19th. Mike Graytrix drops to 18th. Don't know what happened to Mike, but Mike was running a great race, and he's now back in 18th, outside of the points. Chris Moses in 17th. John Wathen up to 16th, and Mike Trussler in 15th. John Ludden back in 14th. Matt Taylor now battling with let's see, with Connor Swain. Connor Swain getting the pass done to take over P12. Thomas Schubeck driving the 550 Maranello, chasing down Andres Prieto. Ryan Schleif in 9th. David Poole all over the back of Marty Uren. This battle is allowing Salem Montgomery Jr. an opportunity to breathe and pull out a little bit of a gap over these two. Ooh, David Poole having to brake check just a little bit not to get into the back of Marty Uren. Now, let's go ahead and catch up with this battle. Al Merriman still holding down the 5th spot. Brad Maris still has not put the moves on Juan Monroy. Juan Monroy zigging and zagging down the straightaway. It looks like we're going to see it get done this time around. Brad Maris looking to the inside. Oh, and he pulls out of it. Get your nose in there, Brad. Make it stick. Brad Maris doesn't seem to be in any rush. He knows that he has the opportunity to get the inside line or the inside track on Juan Monroy, but that Ferrari F40 just seems to be able to pull away from the Corvette out of the corners. So, perhaps Brad Maris just hanging back, hoping to pressure Mr. Monroy into a silly mistake in one of these corners. Brad Maris has got the patience. We're scheduled for 12, currently running 5. Your running order right now. Oh, Matt Taylor takes a DNF. Aaron Parsons in 1st, Andrew Werner in 2nd. Juan Monroy in a heated battle with in P3 with Brad Maris P4. And not too far behind them, Al Merriman in 5th. Salem Montgomery is in 6th. Marty Uren in 7th, David Poole 8th, Ryan Schleif in 9th, Andres Prieto in 10th, Thomas Schubeck 11th. John Ludden currently running in 12th, so John picks up 2 more spots. Connor Swain in 13th, Mike Trussler 14th. John Wathen currently running in 15th, but he's got an angry Chris Moses on his tail in P16. Mike Greatrix making a slight improvement up to P17. John Houston to 18th. Gub Douglas to 19th. And once Bjorn Hemmen, who just left the pits, gets out there, Bjorn will pick up P20. And just looking at Bjorn's car, nope, no damage it seems, but Bjorn all over this circuit, takes it off the track. Sorry Bjorn, that's not the kind of exposure we want to give you. Just so happened that I caught you at that time. So now, Andrew Werner, I'm so sorry that we missed this one. Andrew Werner takes over the lead from Mr. Aaron Parsons. Wondering if Aaron may have put a tire out on the grass. So this one is not over by a long shot, but I'll tell you this much. I see Juan Monroy making some really good inroads to Aaron Parsons. And I'll tell you this much, if that Ferrari F40 does not have the legs down the straight, it certainly has the power and the grunt coming out of the corners. Looking back at Brad Maris, chasing down a very, very speedy Juan Monroy. So Juan Monroy in 3rd and Brad Maris in 4th, and now Al Merriman in the slipstream of Brad Maris' C5. What is Brad looking to do here? Because if they can stay this close, going down that front straight, I'd have to say that the advantage goes to the Saleen. Keep our eyes open for that battle as we move down the field now. So Salem is running 6th and Marty Wren in 7th. 1.5 second lead for Andrew Werner over Aaron Parsons currently. And Andrew Werner seems to be consistently lapping in the 2-minute mark. Aaron Parsons looks like a couple laps ago, he may have had a bit of a slow lap, which 201 around here is not slow at all, folks, but I'm just saying. Monroy running in the 2 flats, 159.873, his fastest lap. Monroy currently running in 3rd spot. So if things were to finish right now the way they are, this is what would happen, in that Andrew Werner would start 3rd and Juan Monroy would start 4th. Brad Maris would start 5th, and this is for the feature race, folks. Al Merriman would start 6th, Salem Montgomery in 7th, Marty Uren would start 8th, David Poole would start 9th, and Ryan Schleif would start 10th. Again, this is if this race were to finish now in this running order for next week's feature race. Not to confuse the positions that they are actually running in now. But that is what would happen for next week. Chris Moses taking over Mike Trussler. Looks like Chris Moses may have nudged Mike Trussler onto the grass a little bit there. No harm, no foul. But Trussler did lose 1 position, and now John Wathen driving the Mad Croc Corvette number 11 all over the tail of Mike Trussler. See if he can pick up some of the slipstream off of Mike's car. Tops the car out at about 181 miles an hour down that front stretch. So we'll move up the field here, folks, just to take a look at where everybody's at. Andres Prieto now making his way up into the top 10. And he is making some inroads to Ryan Schleif, who is currently running in P9. David Poole in P8. Salem still running a clean 6th. Yeah, I gotta give it to Al Merriman. Al is showing some great pace here tonight, driving that Saleen SR7. Brad Maris. Aaron Parsons falling now. Aaron Parsons not having to worry much because his spot is guaranteed for next week, but Juan Monroy is just on a mission here tonight. Juan Monroy is currently running in P2. We are working lap number 8 out of a scheduled 12, so we've got 4 laps to go. Can Juan Monroy catch Mr. Andrew Werner and take over the top spot? Well, the next 4 laps will be an indication of that, but if we go to the timing and scoring board, we see that Andrew Werner now starting to lap into the 159s. Juan Monroy also in the 159, so he's pretty much matching Andrew's pace. So we're on board with Juan Monroy, who has been making the greatest improvements here lap after lap. Juan Monroy started within the top 10, but he has worked his way up to P2. He is driving a fast and a very clean race. And so he's narrowing that gap to P1, which currently stands at 1.6 seconds. Boy, I gotta tell you that if Juan Monroy keeps this pace up, he may be giving Andrew Werner a run for his money for that top spot. Again, it does not take away the top spot from John Ludden or the second spot from Aaron Parsons. They will start 1 and 2 next week. That is locked in. That does not change. What does change is positions 3 all the way on down based on their finishing position here tonight. So you're seeing these guys, you're seeing these drivers give it all they have because they want a good starting spot for next week's 3-hour feature race. And boy, I'm hoping I have Alex White with me for that race. So Brad Maris still running in 4th with Aaron Parsons between he and the person that he was chasing down for several laps, Juan Monroy. Al Merriman still running a clean race in 5th. Salem in 6th. He's got Marty Uren all over his tail. Marty quickly dropping it 3 gears into 3rd. So here these drivers come through Moraine Sweep. That is going into turn 5. A tight left-hander here where they have to drop it down into 1st gear for these high-powered GT1 cars. So we've got a great battle brewing here. Just up ahead, just in front of Marty Uren. Salem Montgomery Jr. all over the tail of Al Merriman. They come through Hurry Downs into turn number 8. Marty Uren looking on the inside, can't get it done this time around. We're going to quickly jump up front, see what the leaders are doing. So Andrew Werner, Juan Monroy, Aaron Parsons, Brad Maris, Al Merriman, Salem Montgomery Jr., Marty Uren. David Poole still holding down P8, but we're going to go on. We're going to chase Marty Uren around because the closest battle right now, as Marty nearly loses it going into the kink, is the closest battle on the field right now. 1, 2, 3, 4-way battle for P3. No doubt with a lot on these drivers' minds, having to contend with other drivers on the track, keeping their car on track and trying to improve their position. That was a 2 flat for Marty Uren. And so Salem Montgomery Jr. right now is hunting down the boss man, Al Merriman, and trying to keep it clean, which is sometimes not easy through some of these tight corners here around Road America. Oh, and Salem might have a little bit of a run. He's not going to get it done. He's not going to get the pass on Al done, as Al has to brake check himself as Brad Maris slows down. Boy, so Brad Maris having to contend with wanting to take over P3 and defending his position at P4. Oh, Al Merriman takes a look inside. Nearly gets the pass done, but has to get on the brakes to slow it down as Brad takes a bit of a defensive line. Now, Brad had swung out wide, but quickly let off the throttle to take the inside back away from Al Merriman. Al Merriman taking a look to the outside as they come through the Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner. Salem Montgomery Jr. in P6, not far behind them. And it looks like that is the race, folks. Nope, I'm sorry. It is not the race. They are still racing. Oh, that is the race. I'm sorry, yeah. That is the race. 12 laps complete. Wow, that went by fast. So there you have it. Andrew Werner winning this one. Amon Monroy in second. Aaron in third. Brad Maris in fourth. Al Merriman in fifth. Salem sixth. David Poole in seventh. Ryan Schleif will finish eighth. Prado 9th, Uren 10th, Schubeck 11th, Ludd in 12th, Moses in 13. Of course, there's nothing better than black smoke in your face. Wath in 14th, Connor Swain in 15th, Trussler 16th. Great Tricks will finish 17th, just one outside the points. Houston in 18th, Douglas 19th, Hemmen in 20th. Matt Taylor will finish in 21st. Now, we did lose one driver, don't know who that was. But a great run for Andrew Werner here tonight in the qualifying race. So, don't forget to join us next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a 1 hour earlier start to the race because it is a 3-hour event. It is a 3-hour feature race right here at Road America. Check the forums at www.northamericangp.com for further details, and you will get all of the information there. So for the NAGP GT1 League, I'm Ken Rodriguez. I want to thank you all for joining us here tonight. We'll see you again next week, 8 p.m. start, folks. Do not forget, 8 p.m. start, Road America, 3-hour feature race.